had another question about how effective enemas actually are, and especially how effective enemas are in comparison to a colonic. So if you're interested to know that, because colonics can be an investment, and I completely see that, a lot of us are on a budget, and we need to sort of choose what we're investing in. Colonics versus enemas are actually really quite different. So if you were to compare an enema to a colonic, I would say the enema is really just for a little bit of hydration to help the body do what it's trying to do, and you may get a little bit of relief from the sigmoid colon, which is the sigmoid part of the colon, which is the first little bit that the water's going to be touching as it goes through into the body. Now, I don't feel like it's easy to get the water up higher than that. And even if you are able to do that, and it is effective enough to sort of go higher up into the colon as you've been eating really cleanly, or you're able to sort of, take in more water from your enema kit, which looks like this. I would say, having someone in a colon hydrotherapy center that can massage you and can make sure that you can, move the mess off the sides of the colon is really different than what you can actually do for yourself while you're having a colonic, while you're having an enema. So the colonic itself is very different, really, really different process. There's a lot more water that's going in, and if you're with a holistic center, then they'll be, having that water trickle in quite gently. But the massage and being able to go through the process, you're able to access more water coming in and out of the body, and you'll find that you'll be able to clear the sigmoid colon, and then you come back and you'll be able to clear a little higher up in the system, and then you'll notice there might be parasites, or there might be overgrowth of like candida, like some bushy stuff that's like stopping everything from coming out, things that have overgrown in there that need to come through, and they will eventually come through, because if you're working on yourself and you're able to change your food, your diet, and I find when you become quite clean and maybe a little more alkalized, things move a lot faster, especially if you're not eating meat and dairy and things like that. So, or breads, yeast, things that are going to block you up. So yeah, I do think that it's very, very different. I think doing an enema is a process you're going through yourself, and I think it's a really great thing to know about, to empower you so that you're able to just relieve things at home. You're able to relieve yourself. If you have a headache, you can do an enema instead of like taking a tablet, or going to the doctors, or using some other methods that are not maybe good for you, or you have after effects. So colon hydrotherapy with a really great practitioner is going to be very different. You have someone who's a therapist that if they're really good at what they do, like the way I like to do colonics and the way that I train my team, is really different to a lot of places around. And if you've got someone who's trained as a coach and trained as in different modalities and understands the body and how we function and how we process our emotions and stuff, it's really amazing how you can hold space for a client, for example, and they're able to really shift through some emotional stuff. That's kind of what happens, which is very different to what happens when you're at home. So there are a few things that maybe make it a little different, but hopefully that's a bit more information for today, and I'll post about it again another time too. Have a good one.